welcome to YarnGasm. I'm KRISTIN and this is episode 219. If you are a returning viewer, thank you so much for coming back. And if you are a new viewer, thanks so much for checking out the podcast. This is a podcast about knitting, kitties, knitting, spinning, hand tying yarn, and making all the things in Brooklyn, New York, where I'm from and I live. And as always, I'm so happy that you're taking some time out of your day to chat about all those things with me. I live in Brooklyn with my husband and our kitty, Bella, who says Happy New Year. So Happy New Year, everybody. It is officially 2017. I hope everyone had a really awesome New Year's Eve celebrated, and yeah, I'm trying to think what else I want to say, but I'm happy it's 2017, so I hope everyone else is excited. And Dennis and I had a really lovely New Year's Eve. We went out to dinner with our neighbors, and then we went to a party, which was really fun, and then just pretty much spent New Year's Day relaxing, and then we actually had brunch with Maria from the Subway Knitz podcast. It's formerly Subway Knitz, but then she moved to Denver, and now she has the Cables and Crew Necks podcast, which is on a temporary hiatus, I think, so she hasn't recorded in a while. But anyway, hopefully Maria, you'll be recording soon, because I do miss your podcasts. But yeah, it was really great getting to hang out with her and meeting her baby. She just had a baby who's super cute, and yeah, so we just had a really nice New Year's Day. And what else do I want to say? Just like as far as announcements go, Vogue Knitting Live is happening. It's on the it's not this weekend, but the following weekend, and I will be attending on Saturday, January 14th. And Lara, from the Dyer's Notebook podcast and Jinx Yarns will be attending with me. She's coming in to stay with me, and then we're gonna head on over and join the festivities, and it should be a lot of fun. I cannot wait. And if you are going, I will not be having a podcaster meetup, as I mentioned on the last podcast, but if you do see me roaming around, please feel free to come up and say hello. I will hug you, and I look forward to meeting you in person. And it is, I'm giving everyone a fair warning, it is birthday month, my birthday month, and the wool piggery will be strong. So I'm giving my permission to go a little crazy in the marketplace, but I don't know. I do have some plans as far as what I want to shop for, so you know, I'm not just going in blindly purchasing all the things. So, you know, I do have a couple of ideas bouncing around in my head about, you know, what I want to get. Yeah, so I have a show for you guys today, as I usually do, which is why I record, right? That would just be silly. But yes, so the box of socks, the 2016 box of socks cal has ended. I've locked the FO thread and I have selected winners. We have a lot of winners to announce this week, guys. So I just want to say thank you so much to everybody who participated, and I have to say going through that FO thread was just amazing. All the boxes of socks that I got to flip through, and you guys are truly amazing, and I'm so glad that the feedback that I got was phenomenal. So I'm so glad everyone had fun partaking in the Box of Socks 2016 cal. And yeah, because you guys had so much fun, I'm rebooting it for 2017. I've already created a thread in the YarnGasm Ravelry group. So if you have not joined and would like to partake in the Box of Socks 2017 cal, that's the place to be right now, because it's very happening. People are already posting photos of their socks and their boxes, so definitely do check it out. But yes, I also wanted to mention, see, this is the stuff that I keep forgetting to mention at the top of every episode. So I'll just insert it here. If you would like to follow me on social media, I'm most active on Instagram, so follow me at Voolenvine. I'm at Voolenvine on Instagram, and just Voolenvine on Ravelry. If you would like to contact me, email is the best way to do that. I rarely check my Ravelry mail unless it has to do with giveaway winners. So please email me at voolenvineyarns@gmail.com. And again, if you have not joined the YarnGasm Ravelry group, please do so. That's where you can join in the chatter and to enter to win giveaway prizes, and just a lot of, you know, inspiration happening in there, so do check it out. And finally, show notes for every episode, including this one, can be found over at the YarnGasm blog, which is located at www.yarngasmpodcast.com, and all this information I will link in the down bar and in the show notes. Okay, so first things first, just some administrati things. I'm gonna announce the 2016 Box O Socks Cal winners right now and talk about some other knit-alongs that are currently underway. So if you are not interested, I will pop a time code in the down bar for you to skip ahead to get to the nitty-gritty of the podcast where I talk about knitting and what I'm making and the whole kit and caboodle. So anyway, but without further ado, let's talk some knit-alongs that are currently underway. We have, as I mentioned, the 2017 Box of Socks Cal, which is a year-long knit-along. And yes, the Ravelry thread has been open, so go crazy in there, start posting your projects, chatting and commenting on each other's projects, post as many photos as you like, and yes, that will be going, that's kicked off January 1st, 2017. It'll be going until January 1st, 2018, in which I will lock the thread and choose more winners. So it's a vicious cycle which cannot be broken, my friends. So anyway, so there's that. And then I'm also co-hosting a knit-along with Nina from the This Old Knit podcast. It's the Honey Pullover Cal, and it kicked off December 1st, 2016, and it's going all the way until March 1st, 2017. So do feel free to join in. It's already bursting with so many honey pullover cals, and yes, double dipping is highly encouraged, and you can totally double dip to up your chances of winning prizes. So and those prizes are still TBD, but anyway, I will gather those as the months go by. So yes, okay, those are the only knit-alongs that we have currently underway, but I think it's time to get to the most exciting part of this segment and announce winners. So we have a lot of prizes to announce for this knit-along, and I just want to say a big thank you to everyone who has donated a prize for the Box of Socks 2016 Cal. Super generous of you, and yeah, this would not be possible without you guys, so thank you so much, and I will continue to thank you as I read off the prizes and the winners for this segment. The first prize is a digital copy of Stranded Magazine, which is a digital knitting magazine which I reviewed in the last episode. So if you're curious, go check it out. It's an awesome magazine full of beautiful projects. I believe there are 7 patterns to be had in there, and they're all just gorgeous. So I just want to say thank you to Stranded Magazine for offering up a copy to give away to one of our lovely viewers. And this prize goes to number 124, Little Dragon from the Netherlands, and she knit, are you ready for this, 29 pair of socks. That's amazing. So congrats to you, very well earned. And yes, and I just want to say, if I announce you as a winner, just simply PM me on Ravelry with that subject title, I don't know, something to let me know, Box of Socks 2016 prize winner. And I will get in touch with you. Just give me, you know, if it's something that I'm mailing out to you, just let me know your shipping information and I will get your prize out to you ASAP. So yes, okay, moving along, but congrats, Little Dragon. And the next prize goes to, the next prize is, and I have another one wrapped up, but a bag by Awesome Granny, Bags by Awesome Granny, this wonderful unicorn, ginormous project bag, which is very well made. And I gave one of these away for a previous knit-along and nobody came to claim it, so it totally slipped my mind, so I'm giving it up for grabs for this knit-along. So this is not the one that you will be getting. You will be receiving one that is already wrapped, pre-wrapped, protected from the elements. So thank you, Awesome Granny, for that awesome prize donation. And again, it was a prize that I offered up for another knit-along that nobody claimed it, and I figured, all right, let's just give it away here. So, and the winner of that is number 87, Begonia from Illinois, and she knit 15 pair. So congrats, I hope I'm pronouncing that correctly, Begonia. I will put all this in the down bar, but yay! And next up we have, this is several months ago, Musing Runner on Ravelry generously donated 2 sets of CHIAOGOO knitting needles, sock knitting needles, the 9-inch circulars, which are very short circulars for knitting socks. So very appropriate for this cal. So thank you so much, Musing Runner, for this for generously offering up these 2 sets of CHIAOGOO 9-inch size 1. That's 2.25 millimeter needles. So oops. Here they are in case you're curious. Yeah. So. Yay! So, okay, and the winners of these are number 75, Tracy 3006 from Australia, and she won 22 pair, of socks, which is crazy and amazing. So yay, congrats. And number 6, Monty Knitz from Missouri, and she knit 13 pair. So congrats, you guys. Get in touch. And of course I will add a little extra, some extra thingies in with your prize packages, so you're not just getting needles. Just a few little odds and ends, but yeah. So yay, congrats to you for that. And the next prize was generously donated by NAOMI BRUETTE, who designed a gorgeous shawl, which I'm totally going to butcher the name of, but I'll do my best. Forgive me in advance, but I believe it's pronounced Riofad Liaf. And again, apologies for that pronunciation, but it's a beautiful shawl pattern. Congrats on publishing it, Naomi. And it's a digital pattern, and the winner of that is number 147, Cristaltips from the UK. And she knit 15 pair of socks. So yay, congrats. Yes, I will get in touch with Naomi to let her know that you've won. So no need to contact me, I guess, on Ravelry, but you will get your PDF very soon. And the next prize, next prizes, I should say, were generously donated by Helen Stewart of the Curious Handmade Designs, she so wonderfully and kindly donated 5 digital copies of her new Vintage Fairy Lights pattern, which is a beautiful sock pattern. If you have not checked it out, definitely give it a look because it is absolutely stunning. Thank you so much, Helen, for offering up so many copies of it. It's definitely on my list of to knits, and so let's just go down the list, shall we? Okay, so the first winner is number 202, Beadyyam from Massachusetts. She knit 12 pairs of socks. 77, who is Golf Boy's mom from Connecticut, another 12 pairer. Next up we have 192, Miriam W from the Netherlands. She also knit 12 pairs, so congrats. And number 25, Carol Ann 58 from Canada, and she knit 13 pairs of socks. And finally, drumroll, number 53, Nitty Mitch Karen from Michigan, and she knit 12 pair as well. So congrats, you guys, amazing work. Congrats to all the winners, and congrats to everybody who just knit over 12 pairs and over 12 pairs of socks and just participated. It was, again, just such a wonderful, wonderful thread just to browse through, and again, so full of inspiration. So finally, I am giving away one more prize to a box of socks of my choosing, one that I found very creative, and there were many, so I will be naming some honorable mentions, but I guess I'll do the honorable mentions first, but just some people that got a little creative with their boxes and just made it that much more entertaining and fun to check out. So honorable mentions, the first one is number 224, Mamatronic from Texas, and she created this really beautiful box, just decomposing yarn, using old, she decomposed the entire box using yarn labels, so it made it very personal, and I guess she just kind of added the labels as she went with her sock knitting. So very creative. And number seven, J.N. Langford. She photographed herself in a box with her socks. So I thought that was very, very clever, and definitely gave me a chuckle. Very clever. And number 59, Emily RTW, and she created a box with she designed like a logo on the cover of it, or the lid, that said, quote unquote, "Socks for me, sucks for you," which I thought was really funny. And then the last honorable mention is number 99, Lizzie H, who used a birdhouse, an actual birdhouse, as her box for her socks. So if you go check out these photos in the Ravelry thread, and you will see for yourself how really fun and creative these were. But the winner, my personal favorite one, is has to be hands down number 182, Marge 08. She actually wrote a note in her post. She says, at the very beginning of the cowl, KRISTIN mentioned how cool it would be if the box had lights inside in a Pulp Fiction kind of way. Well, I tricked mine out with some bargain Christmas lights. It's more non-fiction than Pulp Fiction, but I like the way it turned out. And I love the way it turned out as well, Marjo8. So congrats to you. You won a skein of Voolenvine yarns in a colorway of your choosing on either my Wolke base or my Footsie base or my split space. So get in touch with me, let me know what you would like along with your shipping info, and I will hook you up. So yeah, so that is it for our giveaway winner. So again, congrats, congrats, congrats. So looking forward to Box of Socks 2017. It's, as I mentioned, it's already, the thread is already bursting with socks that you've cast on and the like, so yay! Okay, no finished objects to share with you this week, unfortunately, but I would be remiss not to share my own personal box of socks with you. Granted, I did not knit a full 12 pair for the year, so I failed my own knit along, but anyway, that's besides the point. It's not a competition, it's just fun. But here I will share my box of socks with you guys. So I completely forget in which order I knit these in, so I'm just gonna show them to you as best as I can in chronological order, but I believe this was the first pair, and these have already gotten a lot of love, a lot of wear, but they're clean. These are my Jinx Yarns, her last year's new holiday, the colorway she dyed up last year, one of her new colorways. And this is her Gingerbread House colorway, self-striping, with some Knit Picks Panty, I believe it is. I think, or Dogwood, I think. It's just a Knit Pick Stroll, contrasting heels, cuff, and toe. And these have to be one of my favorite pair that I've knit this year. So there's that one. I think this might have also been one of the first ones, and these are my monkey socks out of my own hand-dyed yarn on my footsie base, and this is the Love Song colorway, and I really love the way these turned out. And next up, this was a gift from, this yarn actually was a gift from Molly of A Homespun House. We did a swap a while back, and she sent me two skeins of Arne and Carlos, and I believe Summer Night, I believe this is. I could be totally wrong, I'm blanking, but another one of my favorite pair that I knit. And yeah, just these were just so fun to knit up. They practically, again, knit themselves because of the patterning and everything. So thank you again, Molly, for sending me those. Those were a lot of fun. Let me see. Then, of course, I had to jump on the Knit Picks Felici bandwagon and knit myself a pair of these. I don't remember what the colorway name is, but again, I just did some contrasting heels, cuffs, and toes. Knit Picks Stroll, and they're white. And then, yeah, again, Knit Picks Felici. And yeah, I love these so much. Like, totally out of my comfort zone, too, because they're pastel, but I feel like everyone needs a pair of pastel stripy socks in their sock drawer. And this yarn was also a gift from Magdalena of the Wolf and Schaefer podcast. She so kindly sent me some of her yarn in a swap, and this is the Rose Quartz in ice colorway that she dyed up. And then I used my own hand-dyed yarn in Black Pearl as contrasting heels, cuffs, and toes. This is a new thing for me. I noticed, like, this year I just started knitting a lot of socks with contrasting heels, cuffs, and toes, and just using a lot of Fish Lips Kiss heels. I think all of these actually are Fish Lips Kiss heel socks, which is great because I actually like knitting the Fish Lips Kiss heel so much more than my traditional heel turn. Although I do like to switch it up occasionally. It depends on the yarn, I guess. But I think specifically for self-striping, I prefer the Fish Lips Kiss heel only because it's so quick and easy and I have it memorized and it fits my heel perfectly. So if it ain't broke, don't fix it, right? Anyway. And these, I believe, were, oh goodness, who did I say they were inspired by? Jacqueline of the Brooklyn Knit Folk podcast. She and Laura from the Fawn Knits podcast, they had both knit socks where it was like a bright neon with, I don't know, they were just doing all the neons, and I was just so inspired to knit my own. And this yarn I actually purchased from Vogue Knitting Live last year. Now I can say it. The previous January. And yeah, it's Hedgehog Fibers in the Birthday Cake colorway. And again, these were just so fun to knit up, and the pattern is Pebble Socks by Mina Phillip of the Knitting Expat podcast. So yeah, these were really, really fun to knit, and again, knit themselves, because I really love this pattern too, because it's what Mina does. She has Beyond Vanilla Socks. She has a collection called Beyond Vanilla Socks 1, and she also has another collection called Beyond Vanilla Socks 2. And the idea is that if you are tired of knitting plain vanilla socks, these allow you to mix things up without having to focus too much on what you're working on. Because with vanilla socks, you can just knit, not look down, and they just go. The same thing goes for this pattern, because while it has it adds texture, but you don't have to pay attention very much while you're knitting them. So they're technically vanilla socks with texture, which I think is brilliant. Moving along, I have my Rhinebeck socks, which I knit out of my own hand-dyed yarn, and this is my Mooncusser colorway, which was a mystery Halloween skein that I dyed up this year. I did not knit a leg as long as I usually do, and I'm so glad I did that because I actually prefer my legs not to be so long. I just love the way that they fit better, if that makes any sense. So I think going forward I will just be knitting socks with maybe like a 4-inch leg and call it a day. So yes, and what else? These are, again, I did a lot of Jinx yarns, and I have more coming that I will show you, but these are Confetti and Champagne, which are socks that it's a colorway that Laura dyed for her 5th anniversary for Jinx Yarn. She's been in business for 5 years. Congrats, Laura! And she dyed up a special colorway, limited edition, and it's called Confetti and Champagne. So love knitting these. Such a fun colorway. And then yes, again, two more Jinx socks. These I knit in between right before Halloween, I believe. And this is her self-striping Jack and Sally colorway, which is appropriately named after The Nightmare Before Christmas. This has to be one of my favorite pair as well because it just, I love it. I love the colors and everything. And the contrasting heels, toes, and cuffs I used were Lorna's laces in a free skein that I got from the Loopy U after, I think, several orders, like after you orders, after several orders, you join a club that they have. So they're like, welcome to our special blah, blah, blah club. You get a free skein and a project bag. I'm like, yay! So anyway, this has just been kind of languishing in my stash and I just had to make it happen. So I'm very happy with these. And then of course we have my Mercury socks, which I love. These have been getting a lot of wear. And this is a free pattern on Ravelry by Kim Drotar, who I sincerely apologize. I've been mispronouncing your name on the podcast and misspelling it in the show notes, but it's Kim Drotar. I will put it in the down bar, but yes, I sincerely apologize for that, but yes, but here they are in all their glory, and I love this pattern so much. And again, if you're looking for just a pattern that you can memorize, that's intuitive, but also has a beautiful lace pattern, definitely check out the Mercury socks. I discovered the pattern from Casey of the Creative Musings podcast, and it's a pattern that's been taking the knitter interwebs by storm. And I cast on another pair, which I'll show you in a moment. But last but not least, my Christmas socks. So these again are Jinx yarns. And I have a whole shelf dedicated to Jinx yarns, by the way. I love her yarn so much, and if you have not checked out her Etsy shop, where have you been hiding? She is just so talented when it comes to self-striping and also speckled and variegated colorways, but her specialty is definitely self-striping yarn. And this is her Naughty or Nice colorway, which is this year's holiday colorway. It's on her Glitz base. So these got a lot of love during Christmas time after I had cast them off. I think I wore them for like 3 days straight, and I'm like, I think it's time for me to wash them. So yes, and I think that is it. That's my box of socks completed. That's 11 pair, and I feel a little winded, but you know. So my 12th pair that I was hoping to finish, but then my holiday socks got priority, so I finished those first, but I did cast on a second pair of Mercury socks using Knit Style yarns, who is the Knit Style by Sharon, who is she has the Knit Style podcast, formerly TV Knitting podcast, but she started dyeing, and I purchased a skein of her Fallen Fairy colorway, which is absolutely stunning and beautiful. I finished one sock, so I cast on the second one, and I just have to finish that, and I will have 12 pair. But yeah, of course I didn't finish it because the Christmas Eve cast on happened. So I had to cast on a pair for that, which I'll show you in a minute. But yeah, these are getting done next. So I love this colorway so much, and the pattern itself. It's just the perfect storm of knitting and project colorway and pattern. It's wonderful. So anyway, let me take a sip. I feel like my voice is going. It's that weather where I feel like I'm getting a sore throat, unfortunately. And in my teacup, can you tell I'm keeping Halloween? The Halloween spirit is still strong in my household, but I am drinking David's tea in the pumpkin cheesecake flavor. I almost said colorway, but it's one of my, I don't know what I did with the pack, but it's my all-time, it has to be my hands down favorite flavor by David's Tea, and I should probably stock up before they do away with it, because I have a feeling it's more of like a Halloween / holiday flavor that they do. So, but it's absolutely delicious if you can get your hands on it. So, whew, okay, let's move along to works in progress. Okay, so as I mentioned, I had partaken in the Christmas Eve cast-on, a knit-along. I wouldn't say it's a knit-along, but an event created by Little Bobbins of Danny of the Little Bobbins podcast. She started this annual tradition of casting on a pair of socks Christmas Eve, and it took, again, the knitty community by storm. So I cast on a pair Christmas Eve, and this is Cat Sandwich Fibers in her Let's Play Video Games colorway, and I am so smitten with the way this is knitting up, you guys. So I have a heel, and now I'm just knitting the foot, and this is the first sock that I'm knitting, and I'm using CHIAOGOO's. CHIAOGOO's US 1.5, 2.5 millimeter needles, and yeah, love these, love these, love these. MJ is just such a talented dyer, and I cannot wait to get my hands on more of her yarn. It is absolutely beautiful. I'm also using this really adorable Pegacorn Progress Keeper that Shauna had gifted me in a swap, and it just makes me so happy. It's just such a fun project to work on, and yeah, I love it, love it, love it, love it. Living, I did a switcheroo with some projects. Again, I don't dedicate a specific, I usually don't dedicate a specific project to a specific project bag. I just grab whatever happens to be empty at the time. And this project bag is from the lovely Isabel of the Fluffy Fibers podcast. She so kindly sent this to me one day, and it is now housing my Trachea hat, which I'm still working on. And this is the yarn by the Fiber Company in their Road to China yarn base, which is oh so fluffy and oh so luxurious, and I'm still plugging away at it. I was hoping to have it done this week to show you guys, but it just wasn't in the cards. This is, I will be totally honest, this pattern is no picnic. It requires a lot of attention, a lot of focus, but I will tell you, the high sharps are making it that much more of a joy to work on, because it just picks up those stitches like nobody's business. They're just perfectly sharp, and love the way they're a dream to work with. So here's where I am, and this is a pattern by Michelle Wong, again the Trachea hat, and yeah, I think I have maybe about 10 more rows of cabling to do, and the in-between rows are, you know, like smooth sailing, just knit purl, so there's that. But yeah, this will just be my go-to winter hat, because it will keep me super warm, and it's so soft, and oh yes, highly recommend it. So that is that. And then I'm working on my honey pullover, which again is a knit along that I'm co-hosting with Nina from the This Old Knit podcast. And I'm making slow but steady progress on it. I guess I'm at the point where a lot of people are, so I'm right on point actually. It's not slow but steady, it's decent progress. But this is out of my hand-dyed yarns, Voolenvine yarns, and for the main colorway I'm using my Taiga base, which is kind of like this very muted, like variegated tonal lavender with some, you know, brown undertones to it, and then for the contrasting color I'm using Dirty on Purpose. So I really love the effect that it's having, just the variegated yarn with the tonal yarn. I don't know, it's just so it's like an optical illusion. I was talking with Nina, and she's using the same type of yarn, a tonal with a variegated colorway, and we were talking how it's kind of like an optical illusion. Kind of reminds us of one of those magic eye stereogram photos, but yeah, it is kind of like a little optical illusion. You're like, what's going on here? But really, they're stripes. And if you are curious about, you know, or contemplating about casting this project on, you guys, it is so fun. You can have so much fun picking different colorways out for stripes, and you know, some people aren't even just doing what the recommended pattern striping, the recommended striping rounds that the pattern recommends. They're just going off on their own tangent, alternating different colorways and doing different things, which are so creative and fun. So definitely check out the Ravelry thread, both mine and Nina's. And yeah, it's just, again, so inspirational. And I'm like, why didn't I think of that? So yeah, having a lot of fun with this. And Katie from the Inside Number 23 podcast, she is actually going to be using this pattern to replicate her, a Hermione, a sweater or a jumper that Hermione from Harry Potter was wearing in one of the Harry Potter movies. So she already chose her colorways, and I cannot wait to see how that knits up. So yay. And again, I'm using my Hi Sharps interchangeables on US. I actually went down in needle size for this because just, you know, my gauge was not matching up to what the pattern had called for. So I believe the pattern calls for a US size 5. I went down to a US 4, which is a 5mm needle. So there we go. But yes, I am already at the point where I'm just about to separate the sleeves. So super exciting. And this is living in my zombie bags, my Halloween zombie bag from Hannah Made It, which I can't get enough of. Again, Halloween is still strong in my house. So anyway, and last but, oh no, wait, there's more, but wait, there's more. Living in my skull bag that I made for myself is my fade. I kind of found my fade. As I mentioned last week, I am just going with the flow. I'm putting together colorways as I come to them. Although I will admit I'm at a little bit of a rut. I've hit a wall a little bit because I don't quite know what colorway to add next. Although the intention was to add, well, let me show you. This is a pattern that's very popular at the moment. It is a pattern by Andrea and Mowry, and it's called Find Your Fade. And it uses, you can use as many colorways as you want, but the pattern suggests pick seven colorways. You can use 2, 3, or 4, however many you like. I'm trying to stick with the pattern and choose 7 because it looks a lot of fun. But here's where I am. And the first colorway that I chose was Skinny Dipping in her Space Pants colorway. And then the second one is Hedgehog Fibers in Hush. And I don't know if you can see, but yeah, it definitely picks up on some of these lavender notes in Space Pants. So I figured it had to come next. So yeah, I hit a little bit of a wall. I don't know what colorway to find next. And I know a lot of people don't really care about bases, but I prefer my bases to match up. Otherwise, it's my personal brand of crazy. It's my OCD. I just want the bases that I'm using to be the same, pretty much. And this is Skinny Dipping in her merino singles, and then this is Hedgehog Fibers in their skinny singles. And basically they're all like single weight fingering superwash merino. So yeah, I'm kind of sticking to that plan right now. So there's that one. And I think the next one I'm going to cast on is the next colorway. This was the original plan, so it's probably going to be this one. But do I want to talk about stash enhancement right now? Because I did purchase some filler skeins to go in because I just, again, hit a wall. Couldn't figure out anything for my stash that would please me. I mean, I found stuff that would, you know, obviously fade into one another, but they weren't aesthetically, the whole combination wasn't aesthetically pleasing to myself, and I want to be able to wear this and enjoy it. So I'm being very particular, but I think this colorway will go lovely because it does have some lavender in there that'll pick up on this very nicely. But yes, I did go a little crazy and purchase some more skeins. I guess I'll save this for stash enhancement, but I did purchase another skein of Hedgehog Fibers online in the Pollen colorway, which is a really lovely golden yellow, like honey golden yellow, I want to say. And I think I want to end on this colorway just because I love the combination of, yeah. So somehow I'm gonna go from here and end up with this one. So I did purchase some more yarn. It should be coming today. I purchased Fool's Gold, again by Hedgehog Fibers, Fool's Gold, and then I also purchased Birthday Cake, which I was contemplating putting after this because I don't know if I don't have, where are the socks? Because if you can imagine, I think this would go really lovely after Hush. So I'm gonna wait until that arrives and see what's what and then go from there. So, but anyway, that's how I work. That's the method to my madness at the moment. So, but again, really lovely pattern, having so much fun with it. And it's just one of those patterns that flies. It's like you don't have to pay much attention except when you get to the eyelet part. And I will say eyelets, well, they are tricky. That while they seem fairly easy, like, you know, yarn over, knit two together, yarn over, knit two together, sometimes depending on the type of eyelet you're knitting, the order or the sequence in which you do those yarn overs, knit two togethers, or there's somewhere in between, there's like a knit two or something, you do have to pay attention. And sometimes it drives me nuts, because while lace, like an ordinary lace pattern like the one I'll talk about in a little bit, sometimes you can create like a rhythm in your brain and just go with it, and it's very intuitive because you can read your knitting by, you know what stitch comes next by looking at the row below. Like, okay, I did a yarn over here, so that means I'm on point. I can do a yarn over here. Anyway, I can't really do that as well with eyelets. Sometimes you can, because you can see where the yarn over you did on the previous row is over there, so it's staggered. I'm probably not making any sense, but yeah, eyelets can be a little tricky and not the most fun to tink back on or rip back on, because you have to pick up all those yarn overs. But anyway, that's where I am with that. And hopefully, I don't know if I'm gonna be able to have it done by Vogue Knitting Live, but it's a dream. I might be able to make it happen. I was hoping to have my honey pullover done, but I obviously can't promise myself that either. Again, no pressure. Whatever I have done, I have done. Whatever I don't have done, I won't have done. Whatever. No pressure. Knitting is fun, right guys? So there's that. And then last but not least, living in my awesome granny project bag, you guys can probably guess what this is gonna be. It's the granny stripe crochet blanket. I resisted with all my might to cast this on. I did not want to cast this on, but so many people were casting it on and it looks so much fun. I already have several scrap blankets on the go, and to be honest, I've lost track of how many I've cast on. Between mitered square blankets and crochet blankets, yeah. Anyway, this one seemed like something I could actually do and follow through on, and here's where I am on it. So, I've made a lot of progress, and mainly I've been working on this while watching Penny Dreadful, binge watching Penny Dreadful, which I will talk about in Blather. But just going and going and going, back and forth, and it's just so therapeutic and so relaxing, you guys. I cannot recommend this pattern more. And I'm using a tulip hook, which, not being a crocheter at all by any means, I really love these hooks because it's ergonomically correct. It feels great in my hands when I work with it. But yeah, here's the, is it upside? It's upside down, of course. So yeah, I'm using a Tulip E4, which is a, let me see, 3.5 millimeter needle, or hook, I should say. So loving the way this is working out. And yeah, I will be honest, there's no method to my madness here. I'm just picking out colorways that I think go together or will come, you know, go nicely right after the last color that I used. I guess I do look below and see how it will affect the other colorways that I used. But to be honest, yeah, there's no real craze. I'm not too concerned about it. And it's interesting. I was thinking about this while working on this. What's the psychology behind our granny stripe blankets? Because, you know, even like, I want to say even other scrap blankets, you know, the way in which we choose specific colorways to come next, the way we place them and everything. I wonder if there are any psychologists out there or something that has a theory on this, you know, like, you know, I guess it just shows our personality, you know, our personalities come through on these as far as what colors we like and what we like, you know, what colors we like that go together. I don't know, whatever, just something that I was thinking about while working on this. But anyway, so that's where I am with that. And this is going to go over, I don't know if it's going to live on our bed when it's done, but I did measure it out to the length just to go over our queen size bed. So it will, if I want it to, it will be a queen sized granny stripe blanket. But it, you know, it could also fit perfectly on our sofa, or I can use it in here, whatever. So that's where I am with that. And that's it for finished objects. I will be moving along to stash enhancement. So as I mentioned, I was a little naughty and I purchased some more hedgehog fibers online, and as I showed you, the pollen colorway and their skinny singles. And then I also got a skein of pistachio, which I thought would go lovely with my Find Your Fade shawl, but honestly, I really don't like the way it looks at all with it. So unfortunately, this will not be going into my Find Your Fade, although it is a colorway that I've been wanting for a while, so this will definitely be going in with something. But I don't know, these two go very well together, but it wasn't meant to be. So there's that. And as I mentioned, I have some more hedgehog fibers coming in the mail today. I'm telling you guys, it's birthday month. All bets are off. The wool piggery is strong, my friends. And then this one, I don't know where to begin with this. And Jacqueline and Mina and Julie and Eric, you are going to be very disappointed in me because I went to them to prevent me from actually doing this. But little backstory, Dennis and I moved into this place around maybe like definitely over a year ago, maybe like almost close, yeah, like a year and a half ago we moved in to this place. So while we've come a long way, it's, you know, decorated and everything's coming together, it's lovely and everything, our bedroom needs a little work as far as decorating goes because the walls are still pretty bare, stuff is still not where I prefer it to be, and it needs a little love. And there's a space, like, I know I'm getting into detail here, but anyway, if you can imagine, there's a space like right above the headboard of our bed and the ceiling that's really awkward, and everything that we put there, like a picture or anything, it just really doesn't look right. So for some reason, after much thought, I was like, you know what would look really cool there? a woven a woven hanging of some kind. Yeah, you see where I'm going with this. So I've seen stuff on Ravelry. I know Molly from A Homespun House had woven like a wall hanging or something, and Jacqueline from Brooklyn Knit Folk made one at some point, and it just seemed like a really fun project to, you know, work on at the time. So of course I took to the internet, went on Amazon, and I don't, obviously weaving is the last thing on my mind that I wanted to do like as a hobby, but just something that I can noodle around with, kind of like cross stitch. Like I don't want to cross stitch all the time, but once in a blue moon it seems like a fun thing to do. Excuse me. So I went on to Amazon and I found a lap loom, very inexpensive, nothing fancy at all, and I'm just going to, again, noodle around with it. This is what I say now, right? But this is the one that I purchased. I think it was like 30 bucks. So this came in the mail, and yeah, so I'm gonna have a little fun with that. And the only other weaving experience I have is with a Zoom loom, which I've, you know, used in the past, and I don't, while they're fun little quick projects, I don't think that they really give you the full spectrum of weaving, if that makes any sense. You know, they're just quick little, you know, you use a needle and you go in and out and you have yourself a nice woven coaster. This ups the ante a little bit. You can create a wall hanging, you can create a placemat, I guess. I don't know, we'll see. I'm just gonna have fun with it and we'll see where it goes from there. Anyway, that's all I'm gonna say about weaving right now. So I know I'm probably gonna get a slew of comments from people, especially my mother-in-law, who is the ultimate weaver. She's got, I don't know how many looms in her house, but she is the authority on weaving. So Carol, if you're watching, you're probably gonna call me like 2 minutes after you finish watching this. Anyway, I do not need a loom, trust me. Anyway, so that is it for wool piggery or stash enhancements this week, but I can guarantee you, because it is birthday month, there will be more. Oh yes, there will be more Vogue Knitting Live. I'm gonna have so much fun. I'm gonna move along to sewing. Unfortunately, I do not have any finished objects to share with you this week. There has been no sewing time, unfortunately, although I do want to get back to my sewing machine at some point, maybe this week or next week. I do want to knit with, sew with my jersey fabric that I have. I have quite a few that I want to dive into, but I do have a previous finished object that I'll share with you. But first, let's talk about my shawl. This is, I'm just wearing it because it's winter and it's a little nippy. So, but this is my my hand-dyed yarn on my Narwhal base, which is a very luxurious blend of superwash BFL, silk, and cashmere. And it's in my Venus flytrap colorway, and this is actually a shawl of my own design. It's, if you're not familiar, it is my MEER, and yeah, it's one of my favorite shawls. It's been getting a lot of love and probably needs to be reblocked, but my favorite part are just like the beads that I knit into here, and yeah, it definitely needs to be reblocked. But I'm super glad the weather's getting colder out so I can start wearing it again. So yeah, very happy about that. This is actually a dress that I made a while back, I think over the summer, but for some reason it hasn't been getting a lot of love. And I think because there are just certain details that I wish I had done better. Granted, the fit is perfect, it fits me beautifully, but I will show you in a minute. But this is, I have to get the pattern. I'll put the pattern number in a down bar, but I believe it's by Simplicity or McCall's. I believe it's McCall's. But it's very, it has like a Victorian look to it actually. But right here, I don't know if you, I'm not gonna go in, but there's a strip of lace that kind of gets a little wonky right here. I think it's supposed to be tapered a little bit like that, but I think the width that I chose for this pattern was just a little too thick than the pattern actually called for. So it causes this little, distortion over here, if you will. So, but I really love the way this turned out. The fit is absolutely perfect. I definitely want to wear it a lot more. And let me see, it has capped sleeves and everything. And the fabric is actually Swiss dot. And yeah, I don't know if you can see down here, but it has just like these really beautiful lace panels. Let me see if I can stand back so you can see it better. But yeah, it has this nice little lace detail. So again, very Victorian-esque. I don't think the actual pattern had meant for it to be like this. It's supposed to be kind of like a summer pullover, if you will. Let me go see if I can find the pattern. So it was McCall's in M6749. So I made this version. Oh no, I'm sorry, I made this version down here. So yeah, it's really just supposed to be like a fun summer beach dress, what have you. But I gothed it up a little bit because that's just me. I don't know, but yeah, I think if I make it again, I think, you know what I'm gonna do? I might just, because these versions actually have buttons that go down the front, so I might just add a little button to kind of camouflage that little distortion right there. So I think that'll remedy it a little bit more. But I really enjoyed doing this pattern. Again, it was very simple to make, and I think I want a skirt version, just taking the skirt of it, or the skirt portion, and turning it into an actual skirt, because I just love that lace detail that gives it kind of like that Victorian flair to it, if you will. So very, very happy about the way that turned out. And again, I want to work with some jersey that I have in my stash. So yeah, more on that next week, I guess. But in the meantime, I'm going to talk shop update, because I have a shop update happening tomorrow, Friday, December 6th at 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. So I'm going to go get my yarn that I've dyed up this week, but just a little heads up, I'm going to be mixing up the international friendly shop update a little bit. So depending on how the month works out, it's going to be either the first or last Monday of every month at 10 a.m. Eastern Standard Time, just to mix things up a little bit, because I know some people can't make it on Sundays, or I'm sorry, Saturdays or the weekend. It just doesn't work out for them. So again, sorry, there's a street sweeper outside. And there we go. Anyway, so I'm just gonna mix things up a little bit, and yeah, hopefully that works out for a lot of people. So okay, let me go get my box O stash that I'm going to add to the shop this week. So again, this is not the only yarn that I will have in the shop this week. These are just what I've dyed up this week. I'm going to be dyeing up some more today and more tomorrow, so there'll be several more colorways going in the shop. But just giving you an idea, or a little sneak peek, I will have some I Am No Bird. I'll have quite a lot of this because I've been getting a lot of requests for it. But here it is on my blitzed base, and then here it is on my Narwhal base. I will have it on several other bases as well. And let me see. Okay, and this is a free swim colorway that I had a little fun with. And I haven't named it. Oh wait, I did name it. Yeah, this is Pink Parfait. So this is a non-repeatable colorway, one of a kind. And here it is on my Wolke base, which is a merino nylon cashmere. And then on one of my new bases, Wilderness, which is 20% kid mohair, 55% superwash merino, and 25% nylon. So I don't know if you can see, but it just has like a really lovely halo, takes color incredibly well, especially speckles. So yeah, that will be in the shop. I will have some Dirty on Purpose on several bases, but here they are on Blitzed, and here they are on Narwhal. Yeah. That. And then I will have some Venus Flytrap, the same colorway as my shawl that I knit, my MEER. So here it is on Wilderness. I don't know if I'm crazy about the name Wilderness. I might change it, but since I already named it that, I might just stick with it. I don't know. I haven't decided yet. But there we go. There it is on that. And then I will also be dyeing up some more, as you know, I released the Once Upon a Time Yarn Club colorways, and I have not yet dyed up I dyed up Evil Queen, but I have yet to dye up Captain Swan and I Will Always Find You. But I did dye up some I Will Always Find You last night, so here is what the colorway looks like. It will not have this label. I'll let me just show you without the label, but here's what it looks like. And this is inspired by, again, Once Upon a Time, the series on TV. If you're not familiar with it, it's one of my favorite shows to watch. And this color was inspired by Snow White and Prince Charming. And one of the things that they always say to each other whenever they're in peril, they're like, I will always find you. So that's this colorway. So there's that. And then I actually have some Misfit skeins of the Knitmore Girls limited edition. This is a limited edition colorway that I dyed up for the Knitmore Girls House Special for the Barmaids, which happened over the summer / fall, I want to say. So I had some Misfit skeins that didn't quite turn out the way I had expected them to. So these will be going in the shop as well. So they're a little lighter than the final colorway. The final colorway of Socks, it's called Sock Squatch, was a little, had darker notes to it, like more like a blacker shade to it. But there we go. So a couple of skeins of that will be going in the shop as well. So I'm hoping to dye up some more Captain Swan today. I haven't decided on the other colorways that I'm going to be dyeing. But yes, there will be more colorways. Keep an eye out on the Voolenvine Yarns blog. Go to www.voolenvineyarns.com and check out the blog section at the bottom of the page now. I think I switched things around on the website, but there is a blog section where I update, where I let people know like what colorways are going to be in the shop. And I now have a gallery where you can check out, if you're not familiar with those colorways, you can check out what they look like and the like. So anyway, that's it for shop update. Again, it will be tomorrow, Friday, December 6th at 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. I hope you can make it. Again, I always advise people, because my yarns do sell out rather quickly, do create an account and log in a few moments prior to an update, just to make the whole checkout process quicker and up your chances of getting the yarn that you would like. And just to give you guys, I know I also get a couple of comments about you know, how long yarn remains in your cart for. And just to reiterate, yarn, once you reach the checkout point, you have to be at the checkout point to have 5 minutes to complete the checkout process with the yarn that is still in your cart. So you can add stuff to your cart, but it can still be cart jacked if you're not already in the checkout section of the website. So I hope that makes sense and clarifies any confusion. I wish there was a better way, but that is as best what I can do. Again, I'm one person dyeing yarn, and I dye as much yarn as I can for the shop every week. So that's just how it goes. So that is it for shop update. I'm gonna move along to Blather, where I talk about what's been going on in my life, should you choose to stick around and listen. I guess, where do I begin? New Year's, it's 2017. I do not have any resolutions. I never make resolutions for myself because I do not stick to them. So I basically just go with the flow. I mean, yes, there are things that I would like to do better in the new year, but I do look back and, you know, check out the accomplishments that I've done in 2016. And one thing that I'm very proud of myself for, you know, not business-wise or anything, just a personal achievement, is that I've given up Diet Coke, because the stuff is bad for you. It's not good for you in any way. So thankfully I've stopped drinking that, so yay, go me. Yay for healthy things. But I guess another goal, like if I have any goals for myself, just to be more conscious of being tidy around the house. I've been trying to get into the habit of tidying up after myself. Like if I take something out and I'm done using it, put it back immediately. Don't let it sit there, because I am such a clutter magnet. Like any clean surface is a clutter magnet basically, and I am totally guilty of not putting things away when I'm done with them. So I will pat myself on the back because I have been getting better at that. Granted, I slip here and there. Like right now I'm looking around my office and there are things that are out that should not be out. So yeah, I'm gonna be more conscious about that going forward, and we'll see where I am in 2018. I'll keep you posted. And yeah, another goal that I was going to stick to is journal writing every day in the month of January. I have not stuck to that. I forgot January 1st, stuck to it for January 2nd and 3rd, and then I completely forgot the last 2 days. So it's like I cannot hold myself to this stuff. I feel like it has to be out in front of me if I want to remember doing anything. And yeah, even with my passion planner, I love my passion planner. I love using it and it's such a great tool. But again, it wasn't out in front of me, so I fell off the wagon, but I'm back on the passion planner wagon. I've started using it again, and it's just a great tool for me to just see what I have to do during the week. And yeah, just tick things off as I go with it. But again, I'm one of those people that just has to go with the flow and tackle things as they come at me. I can't really plan ahead. It's like I am definitely not a planner. Because there's no, if it makes any sense, there's no surprise for me in it. There's no anticipation. There's no like, what's gonna happen next? Yeah, it's definitely one of those things where even when it comes to like dinner, I can't be one of those people that do Blue Apron, even though I've heard really good things about Blue Apron, which if you're not familiar is a service. It's kind of like, you know, they send you all the ingredients and then you make it yourself type of thing. And then I was going to do a trial for that. And then, you know, like, well, choose the meals that you want for the week. I can't do that because I'm just like, well, what if Wednesday rolls around and I don't want fish casseroles, or I don't want lamb tacos or something? What if I want something completely different? I can't just save it. And I mean, I guess I could, but save the ingredients. But anyway, again, my own personal brand of crazy. So again, yeah, I'm not a resolution maker. I'm not a planner. I'm just one who rolls with things. So, and yeah, I have not chosen a word for the year. If I did, it would just have to be 2 words, like roll with it, because that's what I do. Anyway, I'm trying to think what else has been going on in my life. Yeah, this weekend, nothing is going on, thankfully. I'm just kind of looking forward to a quiet weekend of crafting. I'm very much looking forward to Laura coming. She's flying in from Texas and coming in on Friday, so we're gonna do a whole bunch of things. I'm gonna take her around, show her the sights. We're gonna check out Woolen. She's been wanting to check out Woolen for quite some time, so we're gonna do that. Obviously, Vogue Knitting Live, take her to some vegan places. Anyway, we'll figure it all out. It'll be a lot of fun. And then I'm trying to think what else. Yeah, that's pretty much it. Again, my birthday is coming up. No real big plans. I haven't decided if I want to have a get together or just have dinner with Dennis. It'd be nice to have a party because I do love parties. But we'll see. We'll plan it out. Play it by ear. Again, we'll see what I feel like. So, but otherwise, I've been binge watching Penny Dreadful, which is a show on, I believe it was on HBO or Showtime. I believe it was on Showtime. I could be totally wrong, but many of you have been suggesting that I check out this show, and I was very well aware of it, but for some reason I started watching it and then didn't watch it for a while, but so glad I picked it up again. Totally my speed. It's very dark, very, supernatural, if you will, and it definitely it touches on like werewolves. It touches on Frankenstein. It brings all these villains and creatures and monsters together in one series, and they all interact with each other, and it's really interesting. They have Dorian Gray and Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde, and who else do they have? Oh, I'm totally missing. Frankenstein and his monster. So definitely check it out if you're into that. It's very gory, it's very graphic, so if you are sensitive to those subjects, maybe this is not the show for you, but I am thoroughly enjoying it. I cannot believe there are only 3 seasons. I think I have 3 episodes left, so definitely going to miss it. And I know it has a sad ending, so unfortunately I think I was watching, I forgot what happened. I was looking it up on the web and there was like a spoiler that I caught and I was like, oh no, that's how it ends. Anyway, So that's been my entertainment these days. But let me see what else. Oh, I remember. I want to say thank you. Thank you to everybody for all your wonderful, wonderful advice. Last week, in last week's sewing segment, I had asked people to share their tips for getting out factory creases in quilting cotton, because so if you're sewing a dress and you're cutting out the front bodice along a fold, chances are, even though you've laundered the quilting cotton, when you're done sewing the project, there's still that factory crease there that just won't come out. Be it you iron it or wash it, there's always going to be this fold there, which is super annoying. And many of you reached out to me, many of you, thank you so much. Let me know about, there's a vinegar water mixture that you can use and then iron it. And then there's also a lavender, people have suggested using lavender oil. And then also another one that I want to try is Best Press. Several of you have suggested that as well, which many quilters use to get out those factory creases. So I have not given it a try yet. I purchased some vinegar. We're gonna try that method first, and then if that doesn't work, I'm gonna go with Best Press and see what happens. So thank you again so much. Again, you guys are awesome and you know, very, very knowledgeable and wise. So okay, so that's it for today. I'm gonna get to work. I have to tie up some yarn to soak, then get to dyeing, and yeah. Another busy day at Casa de Voolenvine, or House of Voolenvine, whatever you want to call it. Anyway, that said, happy knitting, and I will see you next time. And Happy New Year! Ba-da-da.